This is Radio Nepal. I'm Manjil Ghimire with the news. The headlines first. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda pledges to implement National Human Rights Commission's recommendations. 3 foreign nationals arrested with 6.5 kilograms of gold from Tribhuvan International Airport. And Qatar says chances of ceasefire in Gaza shrinking. Now, the news in detail. Devotees are observing Bala Chaturdashi, one of the famous Hindu festivals across the country today. Families of those deceased sow the satabis and light oil-fed lamps, praying eternal peace to the deceased on the day. As per Hindu mythology, one's ancestor will have a place in heaven if such seeds are sown in the shrines related to Lord Shiva and at the Pasupati area in the name of the deceased. Devotees coming from various places of the country throng the Pasupati area, lit lights in the name of their deceased ancestors, and stay awake whole night on Mangchir Krishna Trayodasi, which is yesterday, chanting hymns. They sow the satabis early morning on Chaturdashi, which is today, after taking a sacred bath. International Mountain Day is being observed across the world, including Nepal, organizing various programs today. The United Nations General Assembly has designated 11th December from 2003 onwards as International Mountain Day. This year, the day is being observed with the theme Restoring Mountain Ecosystems. The day aims to create awareness about the importance of mountains to life, to highlight the opportunities and constraints in mountain development, and to build partnerships that will bring positive changes to the world's mountain and highlands. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has pledged to ensure the full implementation of recommendations of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. Addressing a function organized by the Commission marking the 75th International Human Rights Day in Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Prachanda said he would initiate to implement all the NHRC recommendations. On the occasion, Prime Minister Prachanda said the government is consistently working to amend the Act relating to transitional justice to make survivors feel a greater sense of justice. NHRC Chair Tab Bahadur Magar appraised the Prime Minister that only 15.3% NHRC recommendations have been enforced, urging the government to prioritize the implementation of NHRC recommendations. Furthermore, NHRC Chair Magar called on the government to swiftly conclude the transitional justice issues. The Tribhuvan International Airport TIA Customs Office has arrested a foreign national along with a 6.5 kilograms of gold. The team of the Customs Office and the TIA Security Office apprehended an Egyptian national, Muhammad Bogamat Lassim, along with 6.590 kilograms of gold brought from Dubai. Chief of the TIA Customs Office, Tokraz Pandey, said that the Lassim, who had arrived from Dubai on a Fly Dubai flight, was arrested last night. The office has also taken under control 2 other foreigners in connection with the incident. The details of the arrestees have not been disclosed. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has said that the government is seriously engaged in formulation of federal laws necessary for the implementation of federalism in the country. In a meeting with a team led by Madhya Province Chief Minister Saroj Kumar Yadav at his official residence in Balwatar last morning, Prime Minister Prachanda said that the government has advanced the federalization bill, but the final decision should be made by the Parliament. Prime Minister Prachanda said all leaders should work in their respective party to ensure full implementation of federalism. The probe committee tasked with scrutinizing the share transfer deal of telecommunication service provider company Ncell has initiated its investigation. Tankamari Sharma, the coordinator of the committee, stated that the inquiry is underway with the objective of presenting a comprehensive report within the stipulated 30-day time frame mandated by the government. Sharma further emphasized that the consultations will be conducted with the telecommunications regulatory body, government officials, and the representatives from Ncell to delve into details of the transfer of share. The probe committee is actively encouraging individuals to come forward with information or evidence pertinent to Ncell's deal in order to fortify and support the investigation process. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee has met with those challenging the Judicial Council's recommendation for appointments of Supreme Court justices. The committee discussed with those who lodged complaints against the proposed Supreme Court justices. During the meeting, they defended their concerns over the names recommended as the future Supreme Court justices. Earlier, the Council proposed 4 judges of High Court and 2 senior advocates as Supreme Court justices and sent their names to the committee to conduct a parliamentary hearing. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Purna Bahadur Khadka returned home yesterday attending the United Nations Peacekeeping Ministerial meeting held in Accra of Ghana. The Deputy Prime Minister attended the conference leading a Nepali delegation which also comprised senior officials from the Ministry of Defence, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Nepali Army in the event held on 5th and 6th of December. The meeting held discussions on the various aspects relating to the international peacekeeping and also reviewed achievements so far. The participating ministers expressed their commitment and political support to the UN peacekeeping. Nepal has been contributing to the UN peacekeeping missions aiming to establish international peace and stability since 1958. Currently, 6,278 Nepali armies are serving in 16 UN peacekeeping missions. Minister for Communications and Information Technology Rekha Sharma has said that the government is serious and sensitive towards cyber security and it is a new dimension of national security. Inaugurating a cybersecurity research hub established at the Islington College to conduct research on cybersecurity and digital forensic in Kathmandu yesterday, Minister Sharma reiterated that the cybersecurity was in the national priority of the government. Furthermore, Minister Sharma informed that the government launched National Cybersecurity Policy 2080 on August 8 this year with an objective to minimize the damage caused by cyber attacks on the information technology system as well as to prevent potential attacks. This news comes to you from Radio Nepal. Now on to some international updates. Qatari Prime Minister has said Israel's bombardment of Gaza is narrowing the window for a new truce. Speaking at the Doha Forum, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani said Qatar would continue its efforts to pressure both sides into a ceasefire. Qatar played a key role negotiating the week-long pause in violence at the end of November, which allowed the release of hostages. Yesterday afternoon, the Hamas-run health agency in Gaza said almost 18,000 Palestinians had now been killed. In an audio message to Al Jazeera, Hamas's armed wing said the temporary ceasefire had proved its credibility and that no more hostages would be freed until Israel engaged in talks. The Red Cross has said 2 people have been killed and 7 others injured in a deliberate attack on an aid convoy in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. The vehicles, which the Red Cross said were clearly marked with a Red Cross emblem, were due to evacuate over 100 civilians. The International Committee for the Red Cross said the wounded included 3 charity staff. In a statement, they said they were shocked and appalled. Sudan's civil war between the army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, is now in its 8th month. A coup in Sudan 2 years ago saw the Prime Minister and his cabinet arrested and the government dissolved. Fighting in Sudan started in April after members of the RSF were redeployed around the country in a move that the army saw as a threat. The United Nations says more than 6 million people have so far been displaced by the war. Now the general weather forecast for the country. With the partial influence of westerly winds across the country, Meteorological Forecasting Division has forecast the weather to be partly cloudy in the hilly areas of the country and mainly fair in the rest of the country. There are chances of light snowfall at 1 or 2 places of the high hilly and mountainous region of Kosi, Gandaki and Karnali province today. According to the latest information provided by the division, the minimum temperature of Kathmandu Valley is recorded as 6 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature as 19.2 degrees Celsius. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin from Radio Nepal for this hour, but before wrapping it up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once more. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda pledges to implement National Human Rights Commission's recommendations. 3 foreign nationals arrested along with 6.5 kilograms of gold from Tribhuvan International Airport. And Qatar says chances of ceasefire in Gaza shrinking. This is all we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can listen to us online on our website www.onlineradionepal.gov.np and our mobile app. For more news and information, keep listening to Radio Nepal. Have a good day.